The annoying thing that happens here is that I tend to find out tech news via my wife. He was not in
Ah,
tech at all, and she came in to me the other day and said, "Have you seen that GitHub have launched this autocomplete thing for not autocomplete? What did she describe it as? Um,
magic.
yeah, you can type in what you want, and it comes up with what it writes the code for you,
Yeah, like
which is
natural
essentially what it
language.
is. An AI pair programmer, which sounds great,
Crazy.
really.
Oh, the GitHub Copilot page just shows you a few different examples of what you can actually do. But you can type a what is seemingly like a comment, basically, and it uses that comment to write a function, which is just absolutely bonkers. I think it only works with some. Oh, this looks different to the one I was looking at. Mine was on
No, it's the
dark
same
mode.
page, I think.
Yeah. So it's crazy. In this one, the par's expenses, you can, yeah, you basically just type one big comment as if you would, like documentation wise, and it will just go and blam,
Wow,
blammo. It's crazy.
it's cool, isn't it? I do like the
Mm.
idea of being able to.
Because they must have been working on this for a long, long time, and they've had the world's code
Yes.
to, it's probably listed in the terms and conditions somewhere. You've been contributing to this for years and years.
Well, it's using OpenAI, isn't it? So I don't know if that's that. Is it MH3 or something like that? The actual algorithm. Because this was talked about a little while ago. So the OpenAI program, they developed a. Ah, there it is, GPT-3. So GPT-3 came out quite a while ago, actually. But the GPT-3 it's now available in for everybody to integrate with. There was a project that came out a little while ago to say you can integrate with GPT-3 if you can come up with a good enough reason um, to integrate. And so, I would very much like to have used this, but here you can see that GPT-3 was licensed to Microsoft for commercial
Mm.
release. And so I would presume this is using GPT-3, which is so far intended to be the most powerful AI algorithm out there and available. There you go. Text in, text out interface. So presumably what they've been able to do is take all of GitHub, because they own that, feed it in, and come up with what should be, high quality code. Which
It was
is
all
just
one
brilliant,
big
isn't it?
plan from Microsoft, wasn't it? They've known this all along.
Well, I just think someone has come up with it and said this would be a good application of trying to test out GPT-3. Because I presume
Mm.
it doesn't say that it's GPT-3, but I presume it is. I love the idea of being able to do the tests like this. I think this would be great.
Mm. The fact that you write comments and then it does it for you, like you'd hope that would be a very well documented, easy to follow code base.
Well, I mean, it might make as well test-driven development extraordinarily easy, because you could
Mm.
write your tests in a comment, go boom, I've got my test, great. Now I can write my comment to pass my test,
Yeah,
and it'll
yeah,
write
yeah,
your
yeah.
code for you, which would be
Well, to be honest,
fantastic.
my tests always start at comments. Like I comment all my tests out before even starting to code them. It's like I'll sit there and just think about, okay, what does this component or whatever need to do, and almost treat it like a checkbox. So it all starts as comments anyway.
That's
It'd
interesting.
be great. It'd be
That's
great if,
interesting.
yeah.
But I did see this. I mean, some of the comments here are great. Trying to code in an unfamiliar language by Googling everything is like navigating a foreign country with just a phrase book. Um, and this is like hiring an interpreter. And, as someone who will quite happily write in many, many different languages, and I've said this on the show before, mediocre code in any language, pretty much my specialty. The it's it is hard work trying to pick up a new language, because I feel like I'm constantly doing it, and especially because you're switching between many different languages. I feel like I'm a jack of all and a master of absolutely none, and so I think this is going to be incredibly easy, incredibly useful because all
Yeah.
of the functions that I use are always the same, if you know what I mean. They're
Hmm.
always the
Hmm.
same sort of style, but you never really know the sort of syntactical sugar that exists in a specific language. And I'm often finding that I will learn that all of the, you learn that from people. You pick it up as you go along, and the more you pair with people, the more you pick up these different things.
Hmm.
And actually having an AI pair programmer would be amazing.
Just to get you going, at the very least, just to get you going.
Yeah,
You
it's
know.
actually this comment in the middle. Look, I mean, I was surprised in the first day how much it taught me about a nuance in JavaScript object comparison, and is as comfortable with our database schema as I am. But it's that nuance in a JavaScript object comparison, because that's the syntactic sugar almost
Hmm. Hmm.
that you miss out on if you're not an absolute expert in a language.
And it's getting more and more complex as you know, ES probably on ES 8 or 9 now. You know, all this, especially specifically around arrays and objects. There's so much awesomeness that comes with that, and now you don't need to worry about it. You know, it will just inherit the latest and greatest.
Well, it's also the it's the skipping between frameworks. It's one day I'm gonna.
Mm.
It's not that it's learning JavaScript. It's that you're moving from Angular to React to Vue to statically typed. Statically served Jamstack stuff.
Mhm.
It's all very different. And you can fall back onto vanilla JavaScript, but sometimes it's difficult to remember what that vanilla JavaScript thing is, and you have to look it up. Whereas actually, I kind of get the impression with this, it would probably fill in a lot of that stuff for you,
Mm.
which would be nice. It saves you having to look up things. What was that thing you quoted Einstein? I think a few months back, where you were talking about not don't learn
Don't
something that you
learn
can look
stuff.
up.
Yeah, you can, exactly.
It's a terrible paraphrase of Einstein, but he probably didn't say it in English anyway. But the
You just say Google it.
yeah, basically, Google it, Albert Einstein. That sounds like an internet quote if I've ever heard it. Um, this feels exactly akin to that philosophy. That why you've got a tool. It's a proper machine learning tool. This is really the best application of machine learning I've ever seen. Hang on, I've just read something there. I've basically just paraphrased that entire quote. That's insane. This is the single most mind-blowing application of machine learning I've ever seen. So, I mean, it is the perfect application of it. I'm very excited to see it. So, like I said, I've signed up. I've signed up.
So
And other
that's it.
people
You have
should
to
do
sign
also.
up. Yeah, so I've just signed up too. So you have to join a waiting list,
Mm-hmm.
essentially, right? And well, I guess we'll be notified when it comes out, when we can play around with it.
Absolutely. That'd be very exciting.